A very good afternoon to my mentor. My name is Rockson, and today I would like to present about Apresiasi Alam dan Warisan Laut. Okay, to go to the next page. Um, the first thing I would like to talk about is the Chitra elements. What did I participate in? What did I choose? So I chose communication, sports and recreation, and volunteerism. The reason why I chose communication is because I believe that communication is very important between individuals and parties as well. And the second Chitra I chose was sports and recreation. Why did I choose sports and recreation? I believe that every person needs to have a strong body along with a great mind. Without a strong body, you might suffer from health problems and diseases later on in life, which is not very good. So at all stages of our lives, we need to remain active to a certain extent. Um, okay, so that's all for sports and recreation. Oh, and before that, I forgot to mention that regarding the recreation part, it's also very important to relax and wind down every now and then, as too much stress and too much responsibilities can weigh us down over time as well. It will cause a rippling effect towards our mental health. Okay, so that's all for sports and recreation. Going lastly to the last chitra, it will be volunteerism. Why did I choose volunteerism? Because as an individual, as a Malaysian, it is very important for us to volunteer every now and then to help conserve and preserve or just lend a helping hand towards someone that requires our help wherever we could. Okay, I'll get more into it more in the later section. Okay, so now I would like to dive deeper into communication. Okay, communication is very important. Interaction and discussion is how we as humans have improved over the last century and millennia. It's how we have improved, it's how we have invented new technologies, and that is why it's called for better communication between Malaysians. For my first program that I've joined, okay, this is called the Program Polishing Assignment Skill 2.0. So this is the second time they've hosted this program. The reason why I joined this program is because I would like to learn how to build my soft skills that I would need during assignments. And the second thing is because there are various elements that are required in an assignment. For example, you will require communication during presentation, you will require communication with your teammates during group assignments. Those are very important. Along with that, there are also writing, maybe designing skills, those soft skills, all right? So, but most importantly is the communication aspect of it, because without communication, your team members might be lagging behind, then there will be no coordination between each other that will result in a disaster overall. Okay. And last point is I would like to mention is that um when we communicate opinions and like different perspective, we can bring about a better result, a better end product. Okay, like I mentioned earlier, when we discuss, when we give our opinions, we build upon it like building blocks. That's how we build sky high concrete towers. We build upon it with block by block by block until we reach the conclusion that we can solidify it and deliver the end result, the best version of what we would like to give to the others. That is why communication is very, very important at any stage of our life until when we reach the working stage, when we go out into the working industry. Okay, so communication, because communication is what brings about sustainability. Okay, between our relationships with others and so on. The next program I've joined, oops, sorry. The next program I've joined is about hazardous or scheduled waste from the laboratory. Why did I join this? It might sound very far-fetched, but this is a program that was hosted by University Technology Mara from Johor Bahru. Okay, the reason why I joined this is it's very important to learn to communicate in spaces like this, in the laboratory. Okay, because every little mistake you make might cause um dangerous situations to happen. Like even if it's very, very minor, it is still better for us to communicate, to learn from each other how we should maneuver around in a specific location. It is just that in this instance, it is in a laboratory. In the laboratory, we need to learn we need to learn the appropriate procedures. Okay, that is very important. And the second of all, we need to communicate with one another to learn how to better oneself. Okay, from this, I've learned that I have to communicate with each other. I cannot assume that I know everything. I need to communicate. Okay, I need to make sure that it is the right thing to do. Okay, because we are humans, we are not always right. We bound to have new things to learn, and we are bound to have mistakes. Which is why we need to communicate, build relationships to better um, serve ourselves and the people around us. And lastly, we can create a safe and peaceful atmosphere through interaction. Okay, next slide. Reasons to learning better communication skills. The first reason is, as I've mentioned many times, it's important to learn and to cement ourselves as an individual of society. Okay, communication is very important to learn. All right, this is because Malaysia is a a diverse country with different kinds of culture, traditions, which make communication even more and more, which make communication even more important than any other country to make sure that it is peaceful. Okay, we have our ancestors has strived very hard to reach independence to bring about a peaceful environment for all of us. All right. Second reason is that it will bring about improvements. What do I mean about improvements? As I mentioned earlier, we have through communication, through discussion and giving opinions, we have learned to improve technology and we have in technology advancement, self-advancement, and even just the little things as because we humans, we are, how to say, we are bound to look for companion. We are not meant to be alone. We are bound to have a companion. Okay, it will bring about so therefore communication brings about collaboration and continuous support of each other's well-being. Next is sports and recreation, the next chitra. Okay, so during this program, it's called Agro Fun Run 2.0. Also, the second time it's been held. So during this, I've learned about different plants around the campus of University of Malaysia Terengganu. I've also done some recreational activities like planting trees, and I also ran about 4 kilometers. Okay, I had a lot of fun while learning about the conservation we have done in school, while getting a good workout from in the morning, about 4 kilometers. It was an overall fun experience. Okay. And next sports and recreation activity I joined is program orientasi UMT Explorers. UMT Explorers. Okay, through this program, I have built strong relationship with team members, and I've also enjoyed recreational activities in a group. That was off for the program. It was a short program, but I still had a lot of fun. Okay, now going to the next slide. The next slide, I'll be moving on to the next chitra, which is volunteerism. In volunteerism, it is during this program, I joined the program called Campaign Kita Semula. During this program, I've learned about the efforts that we have made towards recycling campaigns throughout Malaysia and the importance of volunteering to conserve the marine environment as well. And at the same time, I have offered opinions and towards the improvements that we should take towards the environmental campaigns that we have been doing so far. So that is all from that program. And afterwards, I have joined another program, which is called the Mental Health Cyberbullying Quiz. This is a quiz, but at the same time, it was a program for us to deliver our opinions and what do we know about cyberbullying. And throughout this program, I've learned about the effects of cyberbullying towards our mental health and towards a specific individual who have gone through it. And I've also provided opinions towards how to tackle cyberbullying, as it is a very um, serious issue. And I've also we raised awareness towards the dangers of cyberbullying throughout this quiz. So it was a very satisfying experience overall that we are able to raise the awareness towards cyberbullying, and at the same time we are able to learn more about how we can solve the issues that comes from it. Okay, so next slide is so what are the 3 ways to volunteer towards a victim of cyberbullying? Number one, we could talk to a friend. Number two, we could contact professionals, therapists, and lastly, we can have a dopamine detox. Dopamine detox means stepping away from our phone for maybe a day or maybe a few hours. Okay, stepping away from our phone and having a dopamine detox brings gives a lot of good effects, such as your you are less stressed and your productivity level will go up. And overall, I believe that we should do this every so often, as we are quite glued to our phone in this um era. As but we cannot blame it, as our work, our studies, everything depends on the technology we are using nowadays. And I'm very grateful for it, but at the same time, we should learn to do everything in moderate. And with that, that is the last slide. So thank you, and feel free to ask me any questions. Um, okay, so after this presentation slide, I will be playing a video about with pictures and videos that I've done throughout the program, and then I will also insert the video for my conservation activity. All right, I'll see you there.